Alright, what's going on there, guys? So, this is going to be my second time making these videos now, at least the first two. The reason being for this time around is because the owner of the Cats plugin basically explained to me that you can actually merge armatures together using their plugin, and I had no idea you could actually do this. I don't know if this may have been a new feature introduced alongside the 2.8, or it's always been there and I just never knew it existed. So I want to say thank you for the Cat's owner for telling me this, and this is why I'm redoing the videos, so it's even a much more simpler process to get avatars rigged into VRChat. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete the older two videos, so pay no attention to those. These are going to be now the new final videos that I'm going to be making for the new series. And the reason why I'm doing these videos for the new series is because with the introduction of Blender 2.8, there comes, it's a little bit, I would say it's a lot more user-friendly, and at the same time, it has some additional features, and hotkeys are a little bit different, kind of navigating and getting used to it. So I'm going to still keep up the older videos for 2.79. That's why I labeled the playlist as old. So if you guys are using 2.79, you guys can go ahead and use that if you'd like, and those methods. But this is strictly focusing on Blender 2.8 now. And then not to mention the introduction to the new uModel that Gilder's been working pretty hard on. So you no longer need to use QuickBMS to extract the files from Dead by Daylight. You can now strictly use uModel to get into the pack chunks for Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight uses pack chunking in terms of how they compress their game it's how they compress their game basically, so the files aren't so big. And for a while, uModel could not get into the pack chunks without using QuickBMS first. So you no longer need QuickBMS, you can disregard it. You just need uModel now to get into the game, and that's pretty much it. So I want to say thank you, Gildor, for adding this support. It's been very much needed in terms of just grabbing files for a split second or whatever it is that you need. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started right into this, guys. So the program that you're going to need is basically uModel. So this is the program here. You would just need to go to the downloads page here and select which version of OS you're using. Either it's Windows or Linux. Of course, I'm using Windows, so I would click on the Windows one. And then once you have that downloaded here, you basically open it up and you grab these two files here, the uModel and the SDL2. And if you find your Dead by Daylight directory, you're going to put those two files into your Dead by Daylight directory. It's going to also create this CAFG file, so pay no attention to that. It'll create it once you open uModel. So let's go ahead and open uModel here. So the model that we're going to be working with today, as an example, is the Hollowed Blight Clown model that was just released in 3.2.2 yesterday in Dead by Daylight's update. So I already have it on the desktop here, but I'm going to show you how to obtain it by extraction. So when you're introduced to uModel, you're going to want to select Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 4.21. As of this video, Dead by Daylight uses Unreal Engine 4.21. It could be 4.23 in the future if they decide to upgrade the engine, but as of now it is 4.21. So you're just going to go ahead and hit OK. And mind you, different builds of Unreal Engine, different games require a different build of it, so you may have to select, if you know the engine build that it's running, then you want to select the correct one corresponding to that. For a while, Dead by Daylight actually used to use 4.13 until they upgraded the engine to 4.20 and then to 4.21. So let's go ahead and go over the files here. So the only one you really want to pay attention is the game folder here. So you're going to have a game folder. These are your audio cues here. Where the audio actually really is located is you're going to actually have to pull that out using QuickBMS. Yeah, you have your characters here. This is where your slashers and killers would be located. Here are your meshes for, say, the environment, so like map objects, interactable objects such as flashlights, medkits, that kind of stuff. Your props. Props are usually between a lot of map type objects, so that'll be meshes. And then textures are just basically for the environment. That's all textures is. So but characters is where we're going to strictly be focusing. So you have one for campers, of course, and one for slashers. So obviously slashers are killers, campers are survivors. So you're going to do your slashers here, and some of these killers have code names. So Guam stands for the clown, Haiti stands for the spirit, Kenya stands for legion, Mali stands for plague, Kyoidar stands for the Stranger Things Demogorgon, and let's see here. I think that's pretty much. Oh, and Omen stands for Ghostface. So, and I think that's pretty much all of them there. So I don't know why, but for whatever reason they codename them. I don't know why they do this. Don't ask me. But so if we're gonna go and get the Clown Blight model, we're gonna go into Guam. We're going to go into, well, let me explain what these files are now. Now, if you're looking for animations, which I'll talk about animations in another video, you would go into animation sequences for killers. This is typically where their moris are located, under locomotion, I believe. Interactions. Oh, okay, some interactions. So here it is, GK Mori 01. So that's their, that's going to be their mori, essentially. You also have the only real ones you're going to want to pay attention to are weapons, textures, and models. The other two are just game related shit. So all you really need to get is the models here. So in that case, now you have bodies and heads. Keep in mind, some of these models have accessories attached to them, and you'll see that in just a moment. So if we're going to just get the head here, so if you double click, because in here you'll have basically all your models for that select folder. So here's head 009, that would be the blight head. So if we double click it, you'll see a rendered preview of it. And if you want to see how many bones it has 45 bones, the vertices, all that kind of useful information there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into tools, because we're going to need this, and export current object, and keep everything here the same, doesn't matter, just hit OK. And then once it's done, you'll go back into file, open package. And this is what I was going to say in terms of accessories. So obviously this head comes with hair, a hair accessory. So if you drop down this folder, it has a ACC standing for accessory. And just check every single folder if you're not very sure whether or not this model has multiple accessories or not. So just check the face and see if the number matches up the same. Because if you recall, the head says head 009. So the outfits are actually numbered. So the head and the body are both going to have 009. Even the accessories will have that 009 number. So that's how you know what head and what body and what accessories to tie it to. You don't want to grab, unless you're mixing and matching a body from 007 and match it with the head with 009. Again, unless you want to match out or mix outfits up. If you're strictly trying to copy the same outfit, then you want to copy it by its number. So, for instance, if we go into face models, I don't see anything with a 009 in here, so we don't need to go into face. If we go into tops, go into models, you'll see GK hair accessory 009, so we're definitely going to need that one. So you can double click it if you want to see the full-on preview of it, but you don't have to. You just have to go over here and hit export, and it gives you the same window, and you hit OK. So we're going to need the hair there, in which we grabbed. Now we'll go into bodies. Here's the body for that very same model. We're going to go into tools, export, OK. Open package. Go into accessories, check the chest. Chest doesn't have a 009, so we can disregard it. Hip doesn't have a 009, can be disregarded. Neck has one, so GK Bubbles accessory 009. We're going to go ahead and take that one, hit OK. There we go. Alright, so now we have that one. Okay, and now we're just going to go ahead and grab the weapons for this model. So models will be located here, so GK009. Now, sometimes this bugs out when I do that, so if you just double click something else, and then double click it again, there you go, it pops up. Okay, so this is going to be his weapon, so we're going to go into Tools, Export Current Object, hit OK. There we go, we have his weapon now. Now keep in mind, I'm going to talk about texture editing in another video, but you want to make sure you grab the ORM files because for whatever reason uModel doesn't currently export them for you. You have to do them manually. So what I do though is I usually just go under the outfit correspondent name. So if we go into weapons here again, go under textures, and if you see outfit 008 here, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think 8 must be the same thing for the weapon. Oh, that's very weird. I don't know why the ORM files aren't in here for GK009. I'll have to see about that. But pay no attention to that one then. Just go into textures here on just the regular Guam here and look for outfit 009. What I usually like to do is, just to be on the safe side, I like to grab all these files, hit export, and just press OK, and it'll overwrite the same textures if it has to, but in this scenario it actually grabs the ORM files right here for you too, because the ORM files, what they are is they're basically occlusion and metallic and occlusion, so it adds the sheen to like the bloody parts, and it adds the darkness within the crevices and things like that, like the shading. For whatever reason though, I don't know why weapons it doesn't have any textures corresponding to it. I don't know if it may be GK's no, it can't be 008. I don't know where the textures are located on this one, but you would do the same thing for the weapons. You just want to go into textures and then find the outfit names corresponding to the same number, and you just export them as well. So yeah, I'm wondering if they're actually in here and the developers screwed up maybe. Oh yeah, see, there they are, GKWW009. See, these files should have been in their own corresponding folder within the weapons folder. For whatever reason, the developers did it that way. But yeah, it's these ones right here. So they're already going to be exported for you. So let's see. So that would be that. After that, you're pretty much done with uModel. You do not need to use it anymore. And then we start going into Blender and rigging this this guy up pretty good. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask me in this section of the video, and I will definitely help you guys out if you need any help. This one's pretty straightforward, I think. Just go ahead and experiment with uModel. You can pretty much export any kind of model or texture from the game. It's a pretty powerful tool. I love it. Use it almost all the time when it comes to leaks and basically ripping shit for VRChat. So, all right, guys, have a good one.